Welcome to Double Duces. Leo Bugo, Jason Bago, Bugo Bago, Double Deuces. We talk tennis, all aspects of tennis, pro tennis to club life and our experiences playing.
Episode 3, guys. It's been a
wow.
while. Finally got to episode 3. We got a little friend here today because she's been fussy. So
It's our official mascot, Eloise.
Eloise, our fashion mascot.
Yeah.
We're having
So the season's over. They're all vacationing in the Maldives, by the way. Apparently, if you're a professional tennis player, you need to go to the Maldives and
that must be a requirement.
vacation and post pictures on
Instagram.
But hey, if they're gonna either pay you or let you stay there for free. So yeah, we are in that downtime, which is before the new season begins, which is in a couple of weeks, actually. You know, the tournaments before the Australian Open and the WTA finals, which were in Dallas, had the ATP finals, which were in Italy.
Right.
So yeah, I think we'll do a quick. We do this from a fan's perspective. Obviously, we're not journalists. We have lives. We have jobs. So we watch when we can, but we do have it on a lot, and we watch a lot. I guess let's start with the ladies. Ladies first.
Ladies first. So former number 1 Ash Barty, right?
Yep.
Started out the year winning the Australian Open.
Her home country slam.
And then she decided to say, hey, you know what? I won. I'm going out on top.
I've had enough. I'm 25. It's too much.
Oh, man. She's a beast, but it was kind of funny at that young of an age to just call it.
I don't know. It's pretty amazing. She seems like a really amazing person. I mean, obviously, we just see interviews and stuff like that, but I guess the commitment to be number one and be, the best in the world is just 24/7. But they get a little time in the Maldives. I seriously think they get like a week, and then it's back to training. So I think it's just the grind and not she lives in Australia, so she's so far away from Europe and North America and her house. So she's like, yeah, I'm just done with traveling. She's probably been doing that forever. I know she played cricket for a few years after, and then came back.
Oh, she did?
I didn't know that. She won the world.
Did she get in the later topic, pickleball? Did she get into that?
No. She's too good an athlete for that. She's like amazing athlete, 5'7", and she did. Cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
Yeah. Hey, it's Friday. We're good.
Yeah, we're recording on a Friday
So
night.
she went out on top. She had enough. It's hard to be a tennis player as far as the injuries, physical demand, travel, being from Australia, the pressure, all the interviews, all that stuff. I kind of get it. I mean, I guess she made good bank and, whatever. She's going to do whatever she wants, whether it be have a family or maybe another sport. She's like a really good golfer, too.
Oh, wow.
And she did play professional cricket.
Wow.
So cool. She relinquished the number 1. She could have kept it. She told the rankings people or whoever's in charge of it, like, no, I don't want to be part of that. Like, let whoever's next be number 1. And that was Iga Świątek from Poland.
Yeah.
So she took over and she won the French, and then she went on a tear because she's the best lady tennis player right now in the world, and she won
37 win streak. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I mean,
37 wins.
She was dominating, and the thing that sticks out with her is that defense. She's just on the run, doing splits, getting shots. Hitting winners like, through that split, that she can do. And she doesn't have that good a serve, but the forehand and the heavy topspin, she seems to have it. It just seems to be heavier than everyone else. And then the mentality of just, being so focused and mentally in there. She seems to be right now the best player, but she didn't.
She didn't pull it out on the WTA final.
The final and then Wimbledon.
Yeah, Wimbledon, neither one. She got the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I guess she just hasn't mastered how to play on grass, which is strange because she'll get it. There's always like one surface that they always struggle with.
Yeah, like Federer with clay. I mean, not that he'd play bad, but
yeah, same with Djokovic,
right?
Yeah. I mean, well, Rafael Nadal is in the tournament,
undisputed king of.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, And we had Serena retire, like the greatest of all time.
Yes, he's a goat.
I wish she had some, run. And she played a little doubles with
Venus, right?
No.
Who'd she play with? Oh, right. Was Wozniacki or no?
No.
Who was it?
No. The girl from Tunisia. Man, we got to edit this part.
Well, we'll fix it. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
We'll put the name up here somewhere. I do not remember who she played with.
I'm drawing a blank too. Anyway, so yeah, it was cool, to retire at the U.S. Open and won the first 2 rounds and showed everyone, hey, I'm GOAT, but I didn't have enough. Whatever. She's a billionaire with like a million things she wants to do, and she wants a family.
She has a kid.
She has a family. I mean, she wants to spend more time with your family. I guess that's the theme here. You have no time when you're a professional tennis player. You're just traveling and playing.
All you do
and training.
Yeah. All year round.
Yep.
Every day. So as far as other players.
Yeah. So Halep got busted for supplements.
Yeah, supplements. That's a weird one. I came out of nowhere.
I don't know.
I personally felt like I came out of nowhere. She's, I thought she was on a downtrend, and then she got hooked up with as a coach, Patrick.
Serena's
butcher
old coach.
That last name.
Yeah, Serena's coach.
Serena's old coach. And I thought, hey, she's looking good.
She played well in Canada. I remember she won Toronto or whatever.
Yeah, and I thought she was on an upswing.
Was a 100 tournament.
I guess there was
1,000
a little
tournament.
Personal drama there with like a divorce or something.
Oh yeah, she got divorced. And now she got a nose job too because she had whatever deviated septum. So then I guess she
really
felt self-conscious about her looks. So yeah, that's how she ended her season, with a nose job and a drug suspension.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, she's appealing, so we'll see what happens. It's hard to understand stuff like that. I always think like a lot of people are cheating, and I don't know if you saw something with they had this in the NFL too. Is the ADHD drug? We called it Ritalin when we went to college. Now it's like Adderall or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they get a prescription, and that helps them focus.
Holy crap! I need that then. Maybe that'll help me.
Listen,
errors kind of get wandered.
If you need it, I know it is part of ADD is a thing. But as a professional athlete, I don't. You never know. I mean, there's so much money on the line, but they have those very, very stringent. I forgot what it's called, like it's Hosada or something like that. You can put something out like on the thing, but Osada. I think it's called Osada, which is the testing protocol for the Olympics, where you need to tell them where you are 24/7, so they can come randomly and test you, and they can test you. So like her claim was, I've been tested multiple times, blah, blah, blah. But I think another thing is like, if you're taking supplements, and obviously she was like, you got to triple check and check it again. And they have all these teams where you have a fitness trainer, sometimes you have a nutritionist, you have a massage, you have a tennis coach, you have a mental coach. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people invested with you because you're making so much bank, and this just helps you win.
You have an entourage.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously she's blaming it on that, but I didn't really look into exactly what the benefits are for that thing. But if they banned it, there has to be some kind of performance thing.
Wow.
So we'll see. She gets to appeal, and
I haven't followed up on it. It hasn't really surfaced up to my feed at all, but
yeah, she had a tough year, I guess. Maybe she'll get the appeal. And then Osaka, who, has multiple majors and was dominant and, the most popular player with the Japanese and the American
I felt like
sponsorships, just didn't play enough, and then thought she could just, randomly just come in here and play, but you can't. Like, you need to be,
she just
and her ranking. She lost her ranking, so it's harder. You're playing better players in the beginning of these tournaments when your ranking goes up.
She lost her. I felt like she lost her drive. I mean, watching her kind of rise up, I thought, wow, she's even better or as good as Serena. In that whatever.
She beat her.
What is it? A final?
Yeah.
Last year, 2 years, something I get. The last couple of years are blur.
US Open.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought, wow, this is someone who's just as good. I'm not want to say better, but just as good as Serena that could push her around. And that's last year. I felt like.
When Serena was older, but yes.
Yeah, I mean at that level, right? Not gauging year.
The best in the world,
right?
Yeah,
she was up there.
Yeah,
she was up there. And this year I felt like she didn't really show that.
Yeah, I think there's some personal stuff that the coach and I don't know. She's got this hip hop celebrity.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she
boyfriend, and
she got in the media's eye for a bit, right?
Yeah, so much sponsorships, so many commitments, both in Japan and here. So all that stuff adds up, and you gotta just play and train if you're gonna win.
And if your focus is away from tennis and more towards all that other
I mean,
stuff,
she makes like something crazy, like 40 mil a year or something. She's one of the highest paid women athletes, or enough, not the highest. I want to say like 80 million. So maybe, they're just young. They know they have bank, and they're like, all right, like this sucks. It's like constant.
I can make a bunch of
training
doing this Instagram instead of training.
We'll see. I think she's still like. I mean, you'll have to put a graphic up again here. Edit check, Leo. I really think she's like 24 or something. She's still young.
She's super young.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's got time. She could.
And has 3 majors. I think she has 2 US Opens and a Australian.
I want to say that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll fact check myself later.
Right.
I'll find out.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the player female.
That was like the recap.
The recap, so to speak, a little bit.
Anything else to add, or what do you think?
Well, I mean,
I like the women. I like watching the women. I know, like some guys, like I don't know. I just like the men. Blah, blah. I don't know why. They're amazing athletes, and it's an amazing tennis, and they blow me away.
It is kind of.
They're the most popular and highest paid women athletes.
It is. Yeah, it is fun to watch them play.
It's amazing. It's like
So it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch. Although
we're fans. WTA.
WTA final kind of for me. I mean, if you watched it, it kind of came under the radar for me, like out of nowhere. Like, oh, they're playing in Fort Worth, Texas, the WTA final. What?
Yeah, I think they were scrambling. They had everything set up with China and that whole situation. And
with that one player. From China,
you need time, but I mean, they might be struggling financially with stuff.
You think?
I don't know. I think both of them should combine, but
you mean like
the tours.
WTA and ATP should be like.
But the ATP think, they're like, oh, we make more, but there's an argument. Hey, the WTA just needs more exposure, which I think that is like people don't even know like how good these ladies are and entertaining and playing. And
we can probably talk about this from a local challenger point of view. Like, was it this year we saw the Sarasota Open? It was this year, right? Sarasota Open.
Yeah, we saw the men.
Yeah. But so contrast. Both challenger events.
Yeah.
Men and women were literally weeks apart. Men played at it's a public court club, so to speak, but it's
nice.
Courts.
It's clay courts.
Yeah, it's well run.
Yeah.
But men played there. There were some notable people there. Jack Sock was there, but they charged admission. They made a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
Right. Women had a challenger event at Sarasota Sports Club a couple weeks after, and they didn't really even advertise it. It was literally free to walk in and watch.
Yeah.
I'm like, seriously?
But I mean, that's the lower level, though.
Yeah,
but
but
that's
what
the
does
lowest
that
level.
mean going up from there, right?
Yeah.
Mean,
Yeah.
if they'll promote the men that much at this level,
Right.
what are they doing?
And then the other
women?
thing was like putting them on TV at prime time and
Right.
deciding who gets on. That, you know, everyone wanted to see Serena for a while. Now Serena's gone, so that's like another issue. Whatever, they just want the best ratings, and you know, we're both dudes here, but I see the ladies aspect of like, hey, just put us on, we're good, like people will like us and give us some good time slots. It's kind of like back in the day with TV, like the NBC time slot, whatever, on Thursday night after Seinfeld, you know, when they want to promote a new show or something. It's kind of like that, right?
I guess it's hard. There's so many ways to watch TV, so to speak, right now. So it's hard to like, okay, where are you going to put it? Where are you going to put it where everyone, large people are going to watch it? Are you going to like put it on? Are you going to put it on Amazon? Hope Amazon going to post it. Are you going to put
That's
it on
coming. I mean,
Sling
we
or
have the
some
tennis
shit?
channel.
There's Tennis Channel.
Yeah.
That's true. Although I wish Tennis Channel was on everywhere.
I know.
Freaking jerks. But anyways.
Yeah. It does decide my TV viewing.
It does, right? Like
Yeah.
I had YouTube TV for a while, and
It's
then
on
I
Sling.
kind of stopped. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I got Sling now too because it's the only place that you can get it. If you don't want full on cable,
We're watching Tennis
watching.
Channel. We like you. We like you.
we like you.
All
but
right.
Come on, get your crap together. Just kidding. Anyways,
Get on the other. Yeah, get on the other platforms. They
everywhere.
probably don't pay you enough. That's why.
because
the same
you're
thing.
playing pickleball
Yeah.
on the Tennis
Let's
Channel.
not have
Just
the
saying.
pickleball on
Just
there
saying.
either.
Just
We
saying.
don't want to see that.
Let's switch the men's a little bit. So,
Okay.
do you want to go from the beginning of the year or just talk about the kind of the
I mean, the theme of the year is Djokovic just not being able to play.
Yeah, Djokovic
so
and
that
his
just affects
stance on
everything.
his-
I mean, it affects his major total because he wasn't able to get into the country to play Australia. I mean, that was a debacle.
He
Like,
couldn't get in to play U.S. Open either,
yeah,
right? So that's two majors. He was
right.
out.
I mean, the whole thing with like,
Wimbledon didn't count for points, but yet he
Yeah.
won.
right. Yeah.
He's arguably the best player right now.
Or the best ever, but yeah,
Yeah, it's
both.
It's both.
I want to say he's 34 and Nadal's 36. I'm not positive about the ages. You're going to have to
we'll
put that graphic up. But
Graphic up.
even 34 is kind of old. And he just looks the same, both physically and the way he's playing. I mean,
doesn't-
he just hasn't, he didn't get enough opportunities this year. But
No, and the times he's played, he's pretty much, for the most part, when it counted, he's dominated.
Well, he wanted to get points to qualify for the ATP finals, and then he was winning, and then he just went in there and was like, "All right, yeah, you remember me?" And he won the tournament.
Yeah, he won the finals.
Yeah.
Right. It was
Right.
like no doubt he won.
So it's the whole thing of, what they say, being on form is basically just being, your timing and your rest and your.
But Djokovic is like a machine to
Yeah.
a degree, right?
But you need match experience,
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. I mean,
and he just didn't have it.
yeah, I mean, he took out pretty much everyone pretty easily through that ATP final.
Yeah.
I think. And then that he's the story of the ATP final in my mind. I mean,
Right.
yeah, there's a little bit of drama between Tsitsipas and Rublev there.
Those other guys have baggage. He's beaten them so many times. He's in
Yeah.
their head, and
Yeah.
he's obviously one of the greatest ever and tough to beat. So.
Now, from an American standpoint, I felt like
Taylor Fritz,
Taylor Fritz. I thought, oh man,
amazing season.
yeah, I thought, wow, he's got a chance. And then I saw him play Djokovic. I'm like, okay, no.
It was closer than you think, though, and I think Fritz is like, I want to say he's like 23, 24.
He's young.
And
he's definitely young.
He has legit chance to win a major on a hard court, like a U.S. Open or a Australia Open.
Yeah.
Big serve,
Mm-hmm.
and had a great year, a lot of experience, a lot of great wins, beating
Yeah.
Nadal, and he beat a lot of good players, and he did well in the majors. So look it up for USA. And Francis is legit too.
To
Went on that
TFO,
run at the U.S. Open and
big foe. Yeah, for sure. He's
getting confidence, and
I feel like that's all TFO needs. He just needs a little more confidence and more experience. And
Yeah.
he could just but there's times you watch him play and you feel like he could go either way.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
like he's just like, just go either. He could just lose a little bit of confidence and just lose this one. Like U.S. Open, for instance, when he played Alcaraz, I'm like, oh, he had a shot, but
yeah.
just couldn't.
Yeah, but I mean, these were breakthrough years for both these guys. So from the Americas standpoint, yeah, I mean, there's still Djokovic, and then you've still got Nadal, who's got maybe, I think, max 2 years. He just had a kid. He's a beat up 36-year-old, like physically, but
he was getting beat in an ATP final.
Yeah, he doesn't do well on indoor courts. He's more of an outdoor player on clay.
But did you see there was pretty recently there was it was an exhibition in Mexico. It was against
I saw they played in front of like a lot of people.
Like 4,000 people or some crazy number like that. It's a huge stadium.
A huge like soccer stadium or something.
But it was clay and he beat Ruud.
He did?
He did. He won.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, he still has it, but...
It was an exhibition, but yeah.
And he I don't remember. Who did he beat? He beat someone in at a dead rubber at the final, ATP final.
I think it was him also.
He beat Ruud?
Yeah.
Maybe that's true. I couldn't remember. There was someone, it was a dead rubber. It wouldn't have mattered. He wouldn't have gotten any farther.
I mean, it just shows you how competitive he was to even like want to play that and play that. Probably because he's never won it, but...
Oh yeah, that's an interesting stat. I did not realize that.
I think Djokovic has won it the most. I think it was like his 7th time this year. Yeah, I don't know. It's not that big. They're usually tired. It's the end of the year tournament, an inside tournament. Obviously we care about the majors or the most. So I think that's the theme. But Carlos Alcaraz, who is a 19-year-old and the number 1 player in the world, is here. So
did he hurt himself at the end?
Yeah, he had an abdominal injury, so he was out at the end, and he had a couple losses. But we'll see. He hasn't played Djokovic much, and Djokovic, he hasn't played, in these major tournaments. They start to study him and know, his weaknesses and his strength and the scouting reports and, the more experience that he has. So I think that will be, and then this, Casper Ruud, who's also a 19-year-old and pretty electric player. Those two guys, they're 19, they're like explosive, they're really good. They did both beat Djokovic this year, and they don't have the baggage of Tsitsipas and all these other guys that can't beat Djokovic. So I guess that's it for the ATP, right? We got the young guns and then the two old guys that are hanging on. When I say old, whatever, relatively for tennis age.
They've been around for a while.
I would give Nadal maybe one more major in the next French, but who knows? Alcaraz is really good on clay, and I don't know. Djokovic, I think, can still crank out like another at least 2 to 4 years where he's winning at least 2 majors, I think.
Well, I think
he's that good.
He got the green light to play the Australian Open.
Yeah.
So I feel like he has a really good chance to dominate right there.
Right.
And
the whole year.
Himself. If barring anything crazy happening.
Or these 19-year-olds,
Or these 19-year-olds. But who's looking good? If you watch it, did you watch Canada play at all? Davis Cup?
A little bit.
So Felix Auger, I got his whole name wrong. Aliassime.
Yeah.
Dude was like on fire for Canada. I mean, the couple matches I didn't watch a lot, but the couple matches I watched, I'm like, that guy's on fire. He could, at that moment, I felt like he could beat almost anyone.
He's got all the physical tools, and he's young too. I want to say he's 21,
he's young. He's
but
super young. Yeah.
He's got scar tissue too. He can't seem to win. It's just that mental aspect of winning and finishing. I mean, like
Shapo. I thought Shapo's a really good player, but he also has that thing where you feel like he can't.
He's too mentally crazy. He goes crazy. I've seen him live a bunch of times. He's after every shot, he's going nuts. It's like, all right, conserve the energy, just chill out, and he goes for these big ripped shots, which are amazing because he can hit them, but
in the air, one-handed back.
Yeah, and then when his serve's on, it's huge, but he's not consistent.
Yeah, he's not.
No,
not.
I mean I can definitely relate to that. I mean I'm not comparing myself to Chapo, but
I can easily compare myself to Shop
we have the
with the one-handed
bad
backhand.
shot selection aspect.
Oh,
but
yeah.
he makes them a lot more than I do.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, so I think that's it for the ATP for next year. Look out for Djokovic and look out for these two young guns who are 19 and gonna be there. And then Nadal is the king of clay, and they play a lot of tournaments on clay.
Yeah, they do. It'll be interesting to see. So, we talked about one time before about, or I don't know, episode 1 or episode 2. You were like, they should do a mixed team thing, right?
Yeah.
So there's this thing called the World Tennis League.
Yeah, I know.
Have you seen that? Yeah, it's going to be is it Dubai or something like that?
Well, I think they go to one location, and it's usually an American thing. It came on with Billie Jean King.
No. This isn't World Team Tennis. This is like in India or UAE, somewhere in the Arab Emirates.
Okay.
It's like freaking Kyrgios gonna play, Zverev, the team, Djokovic, Iga's gonna be there, and Sabalenka is gonna be there. It's like a mixed.
When is it? Do you know?
It's this month. It's like a.
So it's like a.
It's like a.
They pay them all.
There's
they're all getting paid. Appearance fees.
It's like 4 teams, mixed.
Okay, that sounds
And
cool.
It's like over I want to say a weekend. I don't know exactly the dates, but it's coming in December, like 20th or.
Yeah,
around
I
there.
think they just do these exhibitions now and just get paid.
Yeah.
And
so
then they go to the Maldives and then they do their exhibitions. Yeah.
Davis Cup format is so weird.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I
we're
guess
here. You guys got to do something better. Get the women involved and get like a world, or get like a true World Cup. I don't know. You need to change this. It's just not really working for a fan perspective.
No, it's random.
I think because they just don't get paid.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't get paid, so they're playing these World Tennis League.
Yeah,
things
they
and
try to be like the patriotism. I get it. I mean, it's an honor, your country, the whole thing. But I guess they don't get paid in the World Cup either. But it's just more of a big deal. But
tennis isn't as big of a sport as it used to. I think, right?
Yeah,
so that's a tough thing too. But
yeah.
I mean, looking at format a little bit on Davis Cup, I think we were talking about this. In addition to not knowing when the heck it is out of nowhere, and then the fact that you don't have a home country you're playing in like you used to, and you just all go into one spot. I mean, change it from best of 3 matches down to from 5 is kind of weird to me. I get it. It's probably because you get more tennis in. It's not as taxing on the players, etc. But if you get your doubles team, they're either crucial or they're not doing anything.
Yeah, so Rajiv Ram is I don't know, top. He wasn't
ATP.
number 1, or he won the ATP finals, and you're able to take a certain amount of players. I want to say it's 5, and we took 4.
Yeah.
Which is silly. And I guess Marty Fish, I don't know. Maybe there's some Jack Sock. He's the doubles player, and
it was like Tommy
maybe
Paul or something like
maybe
that,
he's got a better relationship with Marty Fish, but I don't know why they didn't take Rom, and
I don't know.
It came down to that, and we lost.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't
even close because all the doubles matches are close, and ours wasn't even close.
Yeah, we lost. It was 5-4.
Yeah, we lost to Italy.
Yeah, Italy. Yeah, exactly.
So Davis Cup, you guys got to
fix it.
From a fan's perspective, we have no idea when it's on and the qualifying.
So our pro predictions for going into 23.
Okay,
so perspective,
women, I think Iga is gonna be the number 1 player in the world, but I'm gonna say that she wins the hard courts, just like last year.
Okay.
And the clay. I'm saying she wins 3 majors again. I think she's that good.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that Coco Gauff is gonna be a contender.
I'll give you that. She's really good.
she's still 18, you know?
She's young.
Yeah.
She's super young.
So I'm going to say Coco Gauff is going to start, you know, I think Iga kind of dominates though. I think the record, like there's bagels involved and breadsticks with her, but
that is true.
And Iga's 19 too, but I think because she just seems to be getting better every year and really strong, like mentally and physically. So I'm gonna say that she's gonna break into the top 3.
Okay.
I'm saying Iga dominates. Wow, really going on a limb. The number 1's gonna dominate.
You think Osaka gets her stuff together?
No, I think she's just gonna be like sort of like a
mid-range, just like kind of there, but not big.
She's got to figure out her situation with her team and her commitment.
So who else from the women's you think is kind of a big contender there, other than?
I mean, I think it comes down to health too. You know, there's a Canadian. They call her BB Bianca.
Yeah.
God, we're terrible with the names.
We'll show
all right, show the name. She's a major winner, and she's just suffered from injuries. And I guess a common theme here is mental fatigue because it's just so grinding, I think.
You're on season. Never ends.
There's always new players, like these teenagers that just come out of nowhere and do well. So what do you think?
So I admit I don't follow a lot of the women a lot, so it's hard for me to catch who's hot, who's coming up. But for a while, I thought Osaka was going to be one of those that were going to dominate for a while after winning the U.S. Open, and then just her 2022, her results this year and her show and effort really changed my mind on that. I have to agree with you. Iga is top of the game, and Coco Gauff is a really strong player. I feel like she's young and she has a lot of room to grow and could dominate. I mean, but she's still, I think she didn't do too well in the WTA final.
No, she's having problems with the forehand. So
okay. So other than that, I'm not really sure of any other. I mean, WTA final, who won that? It was
Garcia.
Yeah. I don't know anything about her. Is she really good player? I mean, obviously
she's
she
like
won,
later on in her career and has just taken a more aggressive type of style. I think she's always had the tools, and now she's just putting it together by just taking a really high risk, high reward, and similar to Sabalenka, where they just go for everything. And
well, Sabalenka, if they're hitting another one that kind of is a big player.
Yeah, she just hasn't won a major, but yeah.
So shifting, so women's hard for me to judge, but the ones.
Yeah, so it's Świątek, and then you got Sabalenka, and then you have. Depending on the surface, but Świątek seems to be the best on clay and hardcore.
And then for men, we're thinking Nadal is a wild card. Kind of depends on his health and what he brings to the table.
Exactly.
Djokovic, most likely dominant since he won't be hindered with any not letting the country, for instance, to play a tournament anymore.
Yeah.
Barring
being able to play tournaments.
Barring anything happening, but
and then the young guns nipping at their heels.
I
think it's I don't know. What do you think of these other guys? What do you think?
I think finally we've got some young. I mean, I think this every year, right? That these are the players that are gonna finally take over the big three. Now 2 because Federer finally retired, but. Every year you think, crap, they're not there. Like I thought Thiem and
Dimitrov
and Zverev. I thought these.
I mean, it's tough when you have the 3 best players of all time just constantly winning,
and then they just don't stand up. And now, but you have Alcaraz and you have
Rude, and
you have Felix out there, and then you have
the Americans, Tiafoe. There's some young guys.
Fritz. I mean, they look really good out there, so we'll see what they bring to the table. But it's, I mean, I'm a Lions fan, so I'm used to watching my team lose, so you never know what's going to happen.
We'll tune in after Christmas. We'll be there for the Australian Open. We're not watching any of the warm-ups really, but we'll see what's going on.
I guess
they go to New Zealand first, and then they play like I think there's 3 tournaments before.
But don't they still have that? What do they call it? We talked about it before. Is it? It's like a Davis Cup thing right before Australian Open, where all the countries play.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I can't remember. I forgot. We forgot the name last time too.
It's ATP Cup or something.
That's
right?
it. I think you got it right this time. ATP Cup.
I guess all these tournaments, whatever, they make money and they sell the. As fans, we have no idea. Like, we know majors, we know the big tournaments that are every year,
and
but
then they
like
think of new ways to have.
Things. You guys got to work on that.
Well, that's big. The big complaint about tennis, right?
Yeah.
They have to fix the freaking schedule.
It's way too much.
It's all year round, plus the challengers,
Yeah.
plus everything else. I mean, you could literally play every day
Yeah.
and have no gas in the tank. And then think of it from like a journeyman standpoint. You finally like play challengers. You say you're American and then you get enough to do, okay, I'm going to try to go for the US Open. But I don't have enough points, and I'm going to do the qualifying tournament. And then you do well enough the qualifying tournament. Then you get to play the big tournament maybe. And since you're so freaking low, you probably have to play the number 1 seed.
Right. I mean, just think the first major is like the end of, what is it, the end of January? It's like January, mid-January.
Yeah.
And you got to be informed like before that. So, yeah, you got to be like tournament ready and right after Christmas.
There is no off season in tennis.
No, they get the Maldives vacation for a week, and that's it.
Your 1 week Maldives vacation, and get back on the court and run.
Club?
Let's go the club level.
Club life, club tennis. Club tennis is us. We call them hacks in golf. I don't know what you call them in tennis.
I don't know.
Hacks.
I'll go with hacks.
We're hacks.
Weekend warriors is a nice way to say it.
Weekend warriors. So,
even though we play during the week mostly.
I think we went over like where you can play in public courts and private courts in one of our previous episodes.
Yep.
But the popularity of pickleball is starting to take over the public courts, where I'm seeing public courts being totally taken away or sharing with the pickleball. And I believe that my friend who works at a club tells me that you can have 4 pickleball courts on 1 tennis court.
Yep, this is true.
Okay.
You can fit a lot of pickleball courts on 1 tennis court.
So that's part of it.
And it's loud and it's annoying.
But the constant noise that the paddle and ball makes is apparently causing some problems for some nearby neighbors.
That constant banging, banging, banging all day long.
My fun ends when their fun begins.
We're a bit snobby on it. It's annoying. The sound is annoying. It's a wiffle ball, and you're playing with like a paddle. It's similar to like that beach thing, Kadima or paddleball on the beach, and it's in this small court. I think the positive is getting people out there moving and playing because it's pretty easy to pick up, where tennis can take a while with technique.
I mean, your club, you were on the summers that you joined, the university club. I felt like they're building in like the Taj Mahal freaking pickleball courts with like fans and covered areas, and it was looking really nice. And I think it was like, was it 6 courts or 4 or something like that, right? I don't remember how many were there, but
the popularity has exploded because of the ease of play with the technique and the availability, I guess, with the public courts.
You don't have to. I feel like
you don't have to move.
You don't have to move. The physicality of it isn't like tennis where you have to run and all the mechanics between getting your serve right and getting your forehand right, bending your knees right, getting the form. Your biggest thing is hitting the ball back and staying out of the kitchen.
And you're hitting a wiffle ball.
Yeah. So it annoys us as tennis players. I guess. Okay, let me put it this way: I probably wouldn't have a problem with it, or probably tennis players would have a problem with it if you didn't take away tennis courts for it.
They take away courts, and then there's an etiquette where you keep your voice down, and when watching, you don't speak in between the play, and when playing, I mean, it's a little bit different on public courts or even at a club, but you don't want to be talking like a lot, and It's always doubles. So, there's always 4 people playing, and then there always seems to be like 4 people waiting to play too. And they're
busy.
commenting on every shot, and it gets loud, and they don't know the etiquette because they've never been on a court. So it's annoying hearing the sound and then hearing the people. So
Constant banging, banging, banging all day long.
My fun ends when their fun begins.
pickleball players, if you're out there watching this, just like, I don't know, just keep it down a little bit, and you don't need to comment on every play. Like,
well, I guess, have I told you my story about pickleball and rude pickleball players?
they like tried to put a net up while you're playing or something.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell it?
So
I've seen this. So just to cut you off,
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish.
the public courts,
I might have
around
a
the
video
country,
of this too.
they've been eliminating the tennis courts altogether just to have them, because you
Yeah.
can have 4. Or the other option is they put down their own lines within the tennis court. So the public courts where we play, on some of them, they have the pickleball lines. It's not that big a deal as tennis players. I mean, you don't really want to see it, but anyway,
It's
they
a pain,
just
but-
bring their own net and then they put it up there, with those lines.
Yeah.
So I guess our beef is with the lack of courts that are
Yeah.
public, and the sound, and then the people that play it. But
Constant banging, banging, banging all day long.
what's your story?
So my story, when I lived a little south of here in Punta Gorda, I used to play with my friend Tito. Shout out to Tito. And Tito. And there was 2 courts. The only time we could play best for us was early in the morning. So we go in early in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning, go hit. And there's 2 courts.
Weekend or before work?
Just before work.
Okay.
There's 2 courts, 2 tennis courts, but they had pickleball lines.
Yeah.
And the pickleballers were crazy. They'd show up around 8:39, and they were like, we got the court, get the F off, basically. So sometimes they were cool, sometimes they were jerks. One time, they took the 1 court, fine, whatever. We're still finishing up. We're in the middle of a freaking point. It was just like we're hitting serve, And then these 2 guys take the net, and they set it. I think Tito has a video. I'm gonna freaking steal it and post it here. They put it right in front of me, and they
I
walk
would
away.
just rip the shot right at him.
Well, I was going to do that, and I was like, they aren't putting a net in front. They're putting a net, and I looked at them. I'm like, are you seriously effing leaving this here? And then they're like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, no, they didn't. The guy that was running the show, like, oh, sorry. And then, like, these drones finally, okay, we'll move it. So you can finish your point. That is why I have a sour taste on pickleball. Probably when I get older and I can't freaking move, I'll be a fan. But at the moment,
And we don't want to see it on the tennis channel either. Like, but these former players, tennis players, are trying to pick it up. There's this guy, Noah Rubin. He never really made it on the tour. He
no, he's like one of the top.
he has this
pickleball players
social
now, right?
media thing called Behind the Racket, where he gets into personal stories of tennis players. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's
No.
Instagram. It's a good Instagram account.
Okay.
They show like the person puts their racket in front of their face, I guess, because they're being vulnerable. It's like about vulnerability on how much, their life sucks, or, whatever
Okay.
struggles they've gone through and overcome. And it just helps people like to relate to mental struggles. Anyway, he's a small guy. He never really made it. He was trying to make it, and now he's trying to pick it up pickleball. And then the other USA guy, that Sam Querrey.
Yeah, I heard he got into pickleball
Yeah,
too, right?
so he's trying to get into it.
Ah.
So we'll see.
Who's? Oh gosh, I'm gonna forget the freaking name. Female. She retired a while back, and then she came back for a little bit.
Kim Clijsters?
Yes,
She's playing too?
Yes.
She could dominate it.
Clijsters got into freaking pickleball. I saw it.
All right, so
That's our
it's-
pickleball spiel.
Yeah. But I think it's one of the fastest growing sports, and it's getting people active. So
It's a good thing to get active, but from a tennis player standpoint, it's
just play tennis. I mean,
Yes.
But maybe
Yes.
it's like an intro to it, though. You know, like a racket sport. You know, you got a racket in your hand, and then maybe be like, all right, what's the next level? But I don't know.
So you've been down here in Florida for how many years?
9 years.
Did you see this in the last 9 years really kind of pick up at all?
I just saw the last 2.
So I was, I'd been back in Florida since 2017, and then I was in Chicago for 3 years. And before that, I was in Northern Michigan. And I started to see pickleball back then. We're talking 2013, 14, start to pick up, and it was crazy. So I'd played inside indoor tennis at the YMCA, and then they had built a new facility, and they built like 8 new tennis courts inside of there.
Okay.
So when they moved and their old facility had 6 courts, they decided to turn all those into pickleball. And then the new facility was all tennis. So I was like, what the F is going on? And they were always busy. And this is, we're talking 2012, 2013, 2014, around there. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And to see it now, we're 2022, and it's growing.
Yeah. It's like when we were growing up. He's a little bit older than me.
Just a little.
1 month.
1 month.
It's like racquetball when we were growing up. You know,
Yeah,
that was like a
racquetball.
trend. I mean, I guess that was bigger, but it's somewhat similar. It's probably the new racquetball, but we'll see.
This is the remnants of some of the old school. You see the racquetball court still,
Yeah.
out, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's our pickleball spiel.
We're trying to promote tennis. So, all right. So it's Christmas season. 'Tis the season. Excited. We're in December. Your wife is out shopping for Christmas presents. So let's
Crazy
talk about Christmas presents for tennis players.
Christmas for tennis players.
Let's start with the cheap, and then we'll go up to the expensive. Dampeners, which they are pieces of plastic or rubber that you put in your strings, and it takes the vibration out of your string in your hand, and they're super cheap and they're super fun. You can get you can customize them.
There's so many different types. So many different
Good
types of
stocking stuffer.
tennis balls.
They're pretty cheap.
They're vital for the game. You
can buy just one can. They come in 4-packs, 12-packs, and cases, 24-packs.
There are also grips, varying types.
Very
of grips.
inexpensive.
Yeah.
Over grips, they're I guess pieces of plastic or rubber that you put over your grip, and tennis players use those a lot, like every couple weeks or so, depending on the player.
Depending on how much you use it, how much you change it.
Yep.
There's strings.
You have to ask the player what they use, and it's kind of personal because there's a lot of different kinds. So
There are so many different strings. It's ridiculous.
I wouldn't just try to just buy random strings and give them to someone.
So maybe strings is a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Pick one.
Shoes, that's obvious.
Oh.
They're expensive. Tennis gear is pricey and never on sale. Shoes are a great gift. Again, Asics is the most popular brand. You got
I
Nike
love
and
Asics.
Adidas. I'm an Asics. I really like
an
New
Asics.
Balance too. They're good. Mizuno is really good. There's a lot of different brands. It's similar to like basketball shoes or any type of shoes, but
Yeah, I think the top ones are mostly, like you said, Asics. Nikes are up there.
Nike, Adidas, New Balance.
The Barricades are up there, and I've heard New Balance. Yeah, there's some other brand I can't. Was that Mizuno or something like that?
Yeah, I like that.
I never tried.
They're gonna run you 80 to like close to 200, $170. I think the highest end is 170, but
and
they're great gifts because the hardcourt, they wear out quick, and then I don't know, you really can never have enough shoes because you run out of them depending on how often you play, 3 to 8 months.
Well, the Asics, the gel resolutions, they have a 6-month guarantee.
Right.
So if you wear the sole down within 6 months, I don't know any other shoe that does that. There probably is. I have no idea.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome. Obviously, there's rackets, but that can get expensive too.
You're
depending
talking $2 bills.
Yeah. Sometimes you might
180 to
Mm-hmm.
260 now.
Yeah, it's up there.
250. 180 to 250.
Yeah, if you get anything under that 150 or lower, you're like, wow, this is a deal.
Kind of just ask around, and it's kind of the physical level of the player, whether how strong how much strength they have, their shoulder, if they're a younger person or an older person or a man or a woman. It doesn't matter that much. And I think I saw something that they sell like this racket at Costco, like pretty cheap. It was like one of the cheaper rackets, and it's a pretty decent racket at the beginning. But yeah, I think if someone's getting into tennis and I've always wanted to try it.
Yeah, don't
You're
get it.
pretty good. I don't know about like the Walmart, Target ones, but if you go to a place,
don't get
I would go to maybe something tennis specific, or maybe check out some reviews online. But I think you can get something decent for $60 to $90.
Absolutely, you can. If you go in that price range, you can get a pretty decent.
For people that are serious, it's more of that 180 to 250.
Yeah, I mean, easy to use rackets. I feel are like,
but no one's gonna give a gift of a used racket.
No, unless you got money to throw away. Like a Clash is a pretty good, easy use the racket.
Lessons are similar to personal training lessons, so I'm sure like if your spouse or your loved one takes lessons and you can, if you know the person or something like that, you can go to them and be like, hey, I just want to buy a package or something. They're pricey too. They're, depending on where you are, it's can be as low as $40 to $125.
Yeah,
but a typical place I would say is that 60 to 100 range.
Yeah.
That's typical, but you
That's
can
for
be as
rackets.
low as 40 and as high as 125.
So we're looking at dampeners,
Balls,
shoes, and grips. for
Clothing.
the
There's
clothing. Oh yeah, you don't forget the clothing.
there's tennis specific stuff. It's more expensive. It's nice. Lacoste, Nike, Adidas, Asics, they all have it. I think Lululemon has gotten into it. I saw Jack Sock is now sponsored by them.
Oh, is he? Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I feel that the shorts are a little bit different than workout shorts. It has something to do with the pockets. I was trying to tell my sister, and she was like, "What's the deal? The tennis specific?" And then I was like, "All right, maybe
Pockets are imperative for tennis."
Yeah, so like regular workout shorts, I think that's the thing. I don't know if they're deeper or what, or they're I don't know.
I don't
Right?
know. I just know you have to have pockets. You have to have it on the opposite pocket than your dominant hand. That's preferable. I know people do.
Well, sometimes they just fall out of your shorts if they're not like tennis shorts. That's the issue.
If they're not deep enough,
it's not deep enough.
They fall out. But and then the women, they have
A lot of
different-
all
different
sorts of
types
options.
Accessories,
Yeah.
skirts. They don't always wear shorts.
Ladies, just know, hey, you're getting into tennis. More outfits.
Yeah, more outfits.
No, I mean that's a bonus.
Well,
they
towels.
like to buy.
Towels are good.
I'm a big towel person. I use the souvenirs for the
Extra-
tournaments I go to. But yeah, towels
Extra
are
extra
key.
clothes. Extra clothes.
So you want a towel that's like I wouldn't say high end, but like a not a full body towel, but like I guess they're called like face towels or something, but not just a hand towel.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Something
towels,
sizable.
dampeners, balls, shoes, clothing.
You can also do
hats.
like headbands and hats. Yeah.
Headbands are cheap. It's our
Headbands.
hats.
Yeah.
The tennis hats seem to be a little bit different. They're similar to like biking hats or like hiking hats, where they're really conducive to being light and material that is lightweight.
But yeah, I think those are good.
Suntan lotion,
tennis bag.
bags. So bags.
We can talk about a little bit. Well,
Okay.
Not into any detail, but there's an array of options of tennis bags.
Whether it just be a backpack with one or a tote bag or
They can get up to like 12 rackets you want.
Yeah.
There's a range and a price range too. So there's different options out there.
I think if you're just looking to get someone that's fairly new, you want something that holds at least 2 rackets.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the smaller ends ones have 2 to 4. So look into that. If they're just people are just into playing tennis. If they're they have a bag but you see it and it just looks beat up, what's the brand that we have?
We have oh my gosh. Why do I always blank on this?
It's like Wilson. There's only a couple good brands, right?
Well, Wilson has some good bags.
Yeah.
Babolat actually has some
Babolat.
really good Babolat.
The racket companies have the bags, and then so we have ADV, which is
ADV Jetpack.
It's a large jetpack. We love it. It's got different compartments, and it's got a cooler, and for your shoes and everything. I mean, just like
It's a
any
cool bag.
type of bag.
It's a cool bag.
But I think if someone is just getting into tennis, and you want something at least 2 rackets they can have and clothing. Which is like that it fully covers the whole racket and the handle, because there's bags that just cover the top.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone is already into it and you want to get them a nicer bag, like look at ADV and Wilson and Babolat. There's all these other brands on Amazon too.
Just check. You can go on Tennis Warehouse, for instance, and just check out tennis bags.
Yeah,
There's
but you want it so they can have their shoes and their clothing. So
so I guess that's our tennis. That's our tennis Christmas holiday gift idea section.
So yeah, we're looking forward to a new year. We're gonna take some time off, watch some football, enjoy the holidays, and we'll be back in January.
We'll be back at
down
it.
under, and I like the time differences are a little bit rough, but
they're
excited
playing the
excited for a new season.
It'll be good. All right.
All right,
Cool. Thanks, Jason. Thanks everyone
Double
for watching.
Deuces. We're out.
All right.